All right, Grayson, our man. Welcome to the show. How we doing tonight?
Doing great, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, no problem. So, we know where you're from. We're from where you are, originally from. And so with that, there might be some judgment when we ask some of these questions, because we're gonna expect like certain answers. And, right out the gate, I gotta know, who's your favorite musician?
Favorite musician? I gotta go Morgan Wallen, 100%.
That's
Man,
a
I'm
that's a hot
I'm
answer.
I'm I'm judging hard already out the
It's
gate.
all right.
Uh,
It's
no,
all right.
that is a 4 out of every 5 guest answer, Grayson. So you're in the majority. Unfortunately, we're not big country guys, but it's all good. What is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Ooh, it's a tough one.
You can give me a couple if it's hard. If it's hard to just give one.
Gosh, I'd have to say it's between Avatar, the first one, and the Batman, or no, not the Batman, the Dark Knight, I think. Yeah.
Solid, solid. And
Let
you
me
just
let me
earned
tell
Daniel
y'all.
back. You just earned Daniel back.
But see, here's the thing. You lead out the gate with Avatar. Let me tell you something. That movie is overrated, and I bet I've never seen it fully start to finish ever.
Well,
I just
I'm,
I
That's,
don't I
that's kind of
don't I
hard.
don't get it. I just don't.
I'm gonna tell you this, Daniel. I just saw the second one in the theater. It's awesome. Like so, maybe that'll redeem it.
I mean,
Yeah, you
maybe
gotta
it's
go watch that one.
but see, I guess that's part of it. Like I would rather watch a movie on my couch. Like I don't have like it in me to like, oh man, I can't wait for this movie to come out in theaters and then like plan a day to go like
Well,
check
you
it
do
out.
you do
I
have to
just
plan a day
don't.
to go see Avatar too, because it's 3 hours and like 14 minutes long. Like,
Yeah. You
Nah,
gotta you
bro.
gotta watch you gotta watch the first one all the way through. Though. I mean, you gotta do it justice. You can't not watch all the way through.
No, I'm gonna need a nap if it's 3 hours for sure.
all right. So next one, who was your favorite athlete growing up? Who it don't even have to be a baseball player if it wasn't, but who did you like?
Um, I think overall, I'd probably say Steph Curry for sure. Because I used to play basketball, so I was a huge Steph Curry fan.
If
And
you're gonna be a Steph Curry fan, tell me you had a good jumper. I mean,
yeah, I have a great jump shot. Yeah, no, I used to play, and that's all I would do was just sit in the corner and shoot threes. That's basically all I did. So yeah.
all right, Daniel. So looks like you got your next challenging horse, bro.
I mean, if you're ever in Tampa and you want to get owned in pool basketball, I don't lose. I don't lose at my own home.
Hey
I
man,
just
it's
don't.
hey, it's a whole different
That's
game when you're shooting out of the pool, man. I'm telling you.
I don't lose horse, so I can't remember the last time I've lost in horse.
When was the
But
last time you were shooting around while you were in the swimming pool, though? That's the question.
uh
Oh, he's fixing to say this summer. Oh man.
I don't know. Probably this summer. I think my friend had he has a pool and he has a basketball hoop. So I've not too long ago. I still got it.
I got you. All right. Well, one more, and then I'll let Daniel, start to get into your story. I don't know if you're a big football fan or not. Obviously, you just said you're a basketball fan. Who are you rooting for out of the teams that are in the playoffs to win the Super Bowl?
Hmm. Um, Golly, I don't even know. Because my team's not in it, so it doesn't really matter.
Who's your team?
The Commanders,
Oh
Washington Commanders.
God.
That's a
Yeah.
hold on. That's a we gotta Daniel. You gotta have to hold the story. We got to figure out why the Commanders.
It was my dad's team. He used to live up around the DC area, so I just kind of always liked them
Okay, if
too.
you're raised into it, that makes more sense because
Yeah.
being from living in the Memphis area, I thought maybe you're gonna like come out with the Titans, but for you to say
No,
Commanders, I was like, whoa.
yeah, no, yeah. But if I had to choose one, I'd probably say the Bills, just because I like Josh Allen. So hopefully he can win one. That'd be cool. Or the Bengals, either one of those. I wouldn't mind either.
I mean, it's I would say the Bills are a pretty safe pick. The Bengals are a pretty safe pick. I mean, I would even put the Cowboys in there. Just saying.
Oh
That
gosh.
that's his team.
Oh boy.
So, Grayson, man, let's get into this. And the easiest way for us to get your story is to go all the way back, all the way to the beginning, rewind it, take me back. Obviously, we're Memphis folks. You're a Memphis folk, but you come from the suburbs. Like, what area of Memphis you coming out of?
Well, I'm actually originally from Texas. I was born and raised in Texas, born in Dallas, and then I think we were like 2 hours east of Dallas. So I was born and raised there, and then moved to Memphis in the fourth grade. And I've been there ever since.
So growing up, you got brothers, sisters, mom and dad, everybody, in the house.
Yes, sir. I have an older brother, 20-year-old older brother, about to turn 21, and then mom and dad. But that's my only other sibling.
Gotcha. Are any of those folks athletes? Mom, dad, brother, anybody?
Dad played NAIA baseball. I think my mom played softball a little bit in college, and then brother ran track for a year in college. So family of athletes, I'd say.
Yeah, it seems like it because I mean, obviously, from what we gather, we see, and we've heard, and we've read, you're a three-sport athlete. Talk to us about the sports that you played and the ages that you started playing these sports.
Gotcha. I mean, I don't know when I started playing baseball, but it had to have been when I was like 4, something like that. As soon as, I mean, whatever the age is for T-ball, that's when I started baseball. Uh, I didn't start playing football until like fifth grade, I think. And then basketball, I've played for as long as I can remember too. So, and then I guess I played I played basketball up until I was a sophomore, and I played football up until I was a sophomore.
So, with all of these, which one would you say that you're the best at? I mean, obviously baseball, you're at elite level, but growing up, which one would you have said, "Oh, that's my sport. I'm the best at this."
Well, growing up, I think it was basketball. I was better at basketball growing up, but I think around the age of, I'd say 10 or 11, I started getting better at baseball. So I'd say that's when I knew that baseball was it was more of my favorite sport anyway. So that's when I became better, I guess.
So, all the athletes we bring on, I mean, especially, our baseball guys, they talk about travel ball. And I'm always interested because a lot of them end up going, hey, I played multiple sports as a kid, but I ended up, as I got into travel ball, it really, took my time and attention away, and I just focus on that one sport of baseball. Now, with you being good at three sports, and was travel baseball something that you were late doing, or did you come out of the gate doing travel ball and you stuck with it? Because I know, you were with Ed Easley and the EBC crew. I'm just curious to know if that was something you started, because I know they have teams, young teams in all the way up to 17 and under. So my question, I guess, is at what point did you play travel ball, and was it the extent that you wanted to play it even though you had other sports that you were playing as well?
I think I started playing travel ball when I was 8 in Texas before I moved, and then um, I don't remember how much we played, but it was a good bit. I played a little basketball like AAU too. But yeah, no, I played a lot of travel ball from like 8 when I was 8, and then all the way up, I think.
Daniel, could you imagine, with your daughter, say she had played three sports and she was playing travel baseball, could you imagine the amount of commute?
I don't even want to imagine that or the amount of money.
Well, we know the money aspect, but I was just thinking about the time and the
Yeah,
amount of time you driving around.
yeah. I mean, it seems like, but I mean that might be a good thing, And Grayson, you're a perfect guy to ask. I mean, it seems like with the level of talent that you had and the teams that you're playing for and the amount of sports that you're playing, it almost seems like a year-round endeavor where every weekend something's happening.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly how it was.
And it's probably good. I mean, it keeps you out of trouble, keeps you busy, keeps you motivated, but more importantly, it keeps you playing at high levels. Obviously, you talk about the transition from Texas down to the Memphis area. You spend time, travel ball in Texas, and then you get picked up by EBC, and then with that, you follow the progression, through EBC, but you're also getting ready now to go into high school. What high school did you attend?
I was at a private school called Evangelical Christian School from fourth grade to my sophomore year, and then after sophomore year, which is COVID, I transferred to Carterville High School.
So let me ask you this. What, you know, outside of COVID, what was the big reason for the transfer? Was it you wanted a different opportunity? Did you just, want to get into public school? Because, ECS is a private school and Collierville is not, even though like
Might as
they
well be.
probably, yeah, it might as well be. But I say all that because what was the reason for the transition of schools?
I think I was honestly, I think I saw the opportunity of like better baseball competition at Carterville and the team that they played, and in terms of the program, just I wanted to be pushed a little bit more, and it was the Carterville program was going to push me a little bit more, prepare me better for college. So that's what the main reason was.
So tell me a little bit. Obviously, you go there, you go to Collierville looking for a push, and you end up seeing some success. What are some of those successes that you saw with that move from ECS to Collierville?
I'd say, gosh, I definitely think the competition, the teams that we played was much better, and it kind of forced me to, I guess, go into another level and work a little bit harder, I guess, than I had been for sure.
You you work a little bit harder, but you inevitably, and most people, if they play baseball at the highest levels like you did, you're going to come across some injuries. Talk to me a little bit about high school and Collierville and injury and trying to come back from that. What was the injury and how did it happen?
Yeah, so I had a little lat strain um, going into senior year, and I think really it just came from doing too much, trying to do too much too soon, and it was a minor injury, but it took a while to come back from. So it was kind of tough mentally because I had never really been injured before, so like mentally it was kind of tough, and I missed like the first month of the season around that. So not a great start to the senior season, but it also taught me like a little bit about like pushing through and timing and stuff like that. And so I just had to work hard to get back, and got back, and ended up having a great season.
So, obviously, a little bit of adversity, is good. I mean, especially, considering, that's happening, relatively early in your career, and now you're in college. I guess it's a good precursor and a good, kind of test to see what's in store for you, but also to kind of put you in a position where you can overcome things because that's probably going to be the name of the game for all athletes at the
That's what I was going
SEC
to say to
level.
you. That's what I was going to say to you, Daniel. You think about it, whether it's Hagen last night or all the first six seasons. The most successful guys across the board went through some type of adversity, whether it was injury or they had to start at a JUCO route or something. Very rarely, other than Dylan Cruz, maybe did they not have to go through some type of adversity.
Right. Yeah, it's just I think it's part of the game, and I think the how you handle adversity is just as important as how you handle success. So, um, Grayson, as we're doing our research, we're coming across bios and profiles. I mean, obviously, there's a ton of stuff out there on you, but the write up for you, you're 6'4", you're 190, you're a right-handed pitcher. You throw four-seam fastball, circle changeup, curveball, and slider from a three-quarter arm slot. You got loose and receptible delivery. All your pitches are considered quality pitches with potential to get better as your size, increases, but also as you hone in on the mechanics. So to me, it sounds like you got a full arsenal. At what point during travel ball in high school did you realize, oh man, like this is something special? Not every guy has these tools.
I'd say I'd say sophomore, like into sophomore year, like first time I pitched for summer ball. I think I was like up to like 91, and just everything felt good coming out of my hands. So I think it was when I started throwing three pitches, and then so that summer, I had a really good summer, and I thought that maybe I could go pretty far in baseball. Because I think right after that I committed to Ole Miss, and it started becoming like really real for me. So I'd say right about then.
Well, but before, that commit, obviously you get drafted in the 19th round by the Rangers, which, I mean, shout out to you, man. That's an accomplishment that not a lot of people can say. That's a big deal. You had teams, recruiting you, obviously, besides Ole Miss, especially if you're a pro prospect. If you move Ole Miss to the side, what were the other contenders that, were piquing your interest as far as colleges?
Tennessee, Kentucky. I think it was those three: Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ole Miss. Those were the big three for me.
So the big question is why Ole Miss? Why not another school? Why not going pro? Like why Ole Miss?
Ole Miss just made so much sense to me. I was such a big fan of them and the team. When I first got to Memphis, went to like a game when I was like really young, and saw them play. I thought it was really cool. It's only an hour away from home, so that's good for my parents to be here. The coaching staff is tremendous. Coach B, Coach Laugh, Coach Clem, Coach Cleary. They're all great coaches, with a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience, and they win. And that's one of the main reasons that I wanted to come, is because I wanted to win. I wanted to chance for a national title, and thought I could do that best here. And also, they have great track record of producing draft picks for arms. So I thought, why not go there and develop, and hopefully I'll get drafted for my time here. But that's just according to God's plan. We'll see what happens. But that was it.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, it is a school where winning is a priority and a regular thing. But I think you said something that was very important. When you look, especially just recently, when you look at Nikhazy and Gunner and Broadway, and then last year with DeLucia and the other guys at Brandon Johnson. I mean, yeah, they're putting out arms into the big leagues and getting drafted high. So obviously the developmental side of it, I don't think you made a bad choice by no means. So with that, you get to Oxford. What are the emotions like, man? Are you more nervous or are you more excited?
I'm more excited. I mean, there's definitely going to be some nerves, the first time pitching, but I'm more excited just to get out there and go compete and see what I'm made of, and just compete against the best in the country. That's what I'm excited for.
No doubt. So a fun question we always want to know, man. Who did you get for roommates?
I actually, his name's Patrick Galley. We met at I think it's East Coast Pro tryout, and then we both made that team. And then he was just like, "You want a room?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? I don't care. It sounds great."
So how did you manage to only get one? Because most Ole Miss guys we talk to, they always have like a room of like four.
Well, since I'm a freshman, we have to stay in the dorms, so it's only two to a room. Um, and then I'll move out next year probably and go get like an apartment or something like that, and I'll have like two other roommates or something like that, I think.
That makes sense. I think Hunter Elliott is the only freshman that we interviewed, and I didn't ask him that question, so that makes sense because all the other guys talked about all the guys in the room. All right, so I'm tracking. So I'm at one of the fall ball games. Me and Dylan DeLucia were hanging out. That's my boy. And he mentioned something to me as you go to take the mound. He goes, "Man, that is so weird seeing someone wearing the number 25 take the bump." So with that, I gotta ask, man, bold move when you take the number of the captain, right? Like they want a statue outside, and you're gonna wear 25. What made you choose 25?
Funny story. I actually accidentally picked the number. They sent out, give us your top three number choices for the year. We'll try and make it happen. And I wanted 9 or 10. And then I actually didn't know that his number was number 25. I thought it was like 26, 27 or something like that. I wasn't keeping up that close with all the numbers of the guys on the team. And so I was like, I don't know, let's pick like 25. Let's put that one as like my backup. And I had no clue. And then I come in, I don't remember what day it was, and they had the numbers on our lockers. And I was like, okay, 25. That's cool. And then everyone was like, "You're 25. You know what that means?" And they're like, "That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight to carry." And I'm like, "Oh shoot, that was Elko's number." uh, and so I kind of realized it after that. And but yeah, no, it's a big honor to be wearing that number for sure. Definitely after the legacy he left. So yeah, I'm definitely honored to be wearing that.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have a certain set of expectations. Like I said, I think what Dylan said was probably the weirdest part about it because you're used to seeing him stationed at first base, and so to see 25 toe the rubber is a little bit different. But I will tell you this, as far as like taking numbers and having success, Hunter Elliott took 26 on purpose because Nikhazy wore it, and obviously you see how Hunter Elliott did. So you do the same thing.
Exactly.
Be the
Yes,
man like
sir.
Echo. But
Yes, sir.
so like I said, I was at a lot of the fall games, man, and got to watch you pitch. You looked really good, and obviously been seeing a lot of people talking big expectations coming from you. But with that, you got to always have room for improvement. And you talked about the development you've had coming in from what you've seen in the fall. What is the one thing you feel like you need to improve upon right now?
Um, I think it would probably be. That's a good question. I don't know.
Hey, that's a good. It's a good. There's always room for improvement, like I said, but it's a good thing if you don't
There's
know
no
stuff right off the
doubt.
top. But if you don't know right off the top, that means you're not sucking at anything, Grayson. That's the good. That's the good
That's
news.
not true. That's not true. I think pitching wise, just being sharper, and really being able to command the zone with all four pitches on both sides of the plate. I think I had sometimes this fall I would have a little bit of command issues. So I just think that just keep working on my command and making sure I have all four pitches
Yeah,
working for me.
I'm like I said, I've watched you pitch a few times. Didn't look like you had any command issues in the ones I watched. Maybe I got lucky. But so you come to the defending national champions, for a freshman, what's that like, that feeling like coming into a national championship program? And then, what's it like to pick the brain of the veterans who are remaining from this team?
It's definitely awesome getting to talk to like Jack Doherty and Hunter Elliott and guys like that. It's really cool. They have so much knowledge about pitching and mindset and stuff like that, and it's been great getting to talk to them and learn from them because they're the best, as well the other guys from the team. especially the guys that were on the team last year that won it. I think it's really cool that I get to, be a part of being on the team with those guys this year. So.
Yeah, no doubt. And there's one I want to ask you about in particular. I have a different show that we do. It's called Friends or Foes, but we had Elko, Brandon Johnson, and Delucia on, and a lot of people wanted me to ask Elko about Garrett Wood, and he said, obviously y'all as players pick the captain, and so with that, Garrett Wood was selected by his peers, and so you coming in as a freshman, what is it, that you've seen so far from Garrett that just makes him special from a leadership standpoint?
Man, Garrett, G Wood, we call him G Wood. He's probably my favorite guy on the team, man. He comes in every day, smile on his face. He's the same guy. Very encouraging. Especially, to me being a freshman, especially to us as the freshman group coming in, he's been very encouraging. And he's a great motivator. Just an overall great guy. There's no one I would rather have as the captain for sure this year. So Jewett deserves it, no doubt.
Yeah, and I expected that answer being we had 40 guests on last season, and we did a vote on the social medias of who had the most outstanding character of all the athletes we interviewed, and Garrett won, and he actually when it got down to the Final Four, he won in a landslide. So a lot of people just think really highly of Garrett. I may even have to do the favor he asked me for earlier. He asked me to help him out with Grizzlies tickets. I was like, I'll think about it. You're an Ole Miss guy, I'm an LSU guy, but being that everybody thinks he's the best guy in the world, I may just have to do it. So outside of yourself, you obviously brought up Jack Daugherty. Everybody knows Hunter Elliott. Tell us who on the Ole Miss pitching staff outside of you and those guys, maybe guys that people don't even know, need to be on the lookout for.
Let's say Xavier Rivas, big time lefty. He's a transfer from junior college. He's really good stuff. Tommy Henniger is kind of a almost sidearm type thrower. He's just wicked. He's going to be fun to watch. Mason Nichols, no doubt. I'm sure I know you know Mason. He's been really fun to be around. Pick his brain. He's really smart. So he's got some great electric stuff. Trying to think. There's a lot. That's things. Everybody's good.
Hey, that's a good thing, right? And you brought up Mason. I think one of my favorite parts about living in North Mississippi, I got to see Mason and Riley Maddox and Hunter Elliott pitch in high school games, and so I knew what Ole Miss was getting before they got there, and I knew those dudes were absolute studs. And so, that's really cool. And so everybody that you said, I agree with, or I've read about or seen some in the fall. So I just wanted those who maybe haven't been there, who listen to our show, to know some guys to be on the lookout for that maybe they haven't seen yet. From a hitting standpoint, I'm gonna ask a fun question for you. Kemp rightfully so is getting a lot of hype. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Give me a prediction right now. How many home runs?
I definitely think I've said it this fall. I think it's going to be 20 or more.
20 or more. I can absolutely see it. I'm gonna give him. I'm just gonna do it right now. I'm gonna go 24. That's a nice round number. We'll go with 24.
That's a good estimate right there.
All right. So last question, and then I'll let you off here and let Daniel play a game with you. I went to Alex Box last year. Watch Ole Miss sweep, work my team over. Absolutely just do it. And outside of a Dylan Cruz home run on Friday night in the first inning, absolutely we're on the whole weekend. And so with that, I just want to know, are you ready? Because my Bayou Bengals are going to come to Swayze ready for a little redemption. And you as a pitcher in that batting lineup, I just want to make sure you're ready, Grayson, for what's coming.
Yes, sir. Of course we're ready. If anyone tells you they're not ready, then I don't really think that's a great mindset.
I just want to make sure because I personally, we've obviously had them on to talk about it, but personally talk to them. That is a circled series for them because last year I arrogantly thought, because Ole Miss was going through struggles. That was when Ole Miss turned it around. It was that series. I went down there that series thinking LSU gonna make easy work, and then man, like I said, just railroaded us, and I was like, oof. And that stung for them. I don't know if you saw what they did to Vandy the next weekend. It showed that they took it personally how bad Ole Miss beat them because then they took it out on Vandy. So they're gonna be looking to come to Swayze with a little redemption.
No doubt. Yeah, no, I mean they're obviously the talk of this season. They got a lot of transfers come in and they have a really, really good lineup, a lot of good pitchers. So it's gonna be fun. But no, I'm just ready to go compete and it'd be fun.
Well, Grayson, we are expecting big things out of the Ole Miss baseball team this year. And like I always say, you're the champions until somebody beats you. So
No doubt.
you have the opportunity to be a part of something and really, the expectations are Omaha for sure. And given that those guys have had a taste of what it's like to be on the top of the mountain, and you know that now that you're on the top, you're the target, right?
Exactly. No doubt.
Well, we wish you the best, man. But before we let you run, we got to play a game, man. You down to play
Let's
a
do
little
it.
game? All
Yes,
right.
sir.
This is the Chinook Seedery this or that game. All right. This is Carpe Diem. We're going to seize the day and we're going to play this or that, man. I'm going to give you a question. It's going to give you two options. All you got to do, Grayson, is pick one option or the other. Can't say both, can't say neither. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Softball style question coming up. Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, is there any other answer to that? I
There's
just
not. Yeah, it's
I
iPhone.
I don't get Android users, and as you can see, Android is not one of our sponsors, But if they were, I would completely flip that question and be okay with Android.
Exactly.
So, Memphis guy, obviously, you know a little bit about barbecue. You know a little bit about Huey's, two staple restaurants, Central Barbecue and Huey's in the Memphis area. Which one of those, if you had to pick one, which one are you picking? Central
Huey's.
Barbecue, Huey's. All right, all right.
Yes, sir.
What's your go-to meal at Huey's?
There's this club sandwich that they have there. That's it's really good. And I don't really like clubs, but it's really good.
It's in my top three, Daniel. I either get the club, the Sunshine Burger, or the steak on a stick. So I'm with Grayson.
Steak on
Jim
the stick's good too. It's hard to top both of those.
Jim gets the club and he's not even a member. I don't know how he does it. All right, now we're getting into the big time questions. All right, because I believe this question, if you ask the right people, could be a really, really heated debate. PlayStation or Xbox?
Well, I don't play video games, but if I had to pick one, I'd go with PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one I'd pick. I feel like I'm an Xbox person. I
You
don't
don't
know
play
why.
video games either, though, so you can relate.
No. Yeah, I just
I
I
still
have
play
some.
regular Nintendo, bro. So it is what it is.
Yeah, let's do that.
No, PlayStation's definitely superior in that category.
Gotcha. All right. What is the better feeling? Obviously, you're a pitcher. You want to strike folks out. You got an arsenal of pitches, but if you had to pick a way to strike someone out, which feels better, off speed or fastball?
Fastball.
Yeah, just blowing it by them. Like there's nothing more like prideful than when you throw a fastball by somebody because it's like you're challenging them right then and there. Like
Exactly.
it's a great feeling. Great feeling. All right. So we talked about music earlier, during, the intro and the icebreaker. You talked about Morgan Wallen, but I got to ask, all right, if given the opportunity to attend one of the following, a bucket list concert or a bucket list sporting event, which one of those would you choose?
Bucket list sporting event.
All right. So what's the sporting event? What is it?
World Series, no doubt. World Series.
Who's playing?
If I had to pick, Red Sox versus Dodgers.
Are you a Red Sox fan?
I sure am. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
You
Well,
knew because he led with it.
yeah. I don't get it. How can this Texas guy from the Dallas area like the Commanders, but also like the Red Sox? Fascinating.
I know
You're
it's weird.
to be in the mind of Grayson, man. The wheels are spinning, man.
Yeah, I just like the colors. I like the red and the navy. I don't know. It just kind of just stood out. The Green Monster, everything about
At
Boston just
least
kind of
tell us
stood
you.
out. So.
At least tell us you like the Grizzlies being from the Memphis area.
I actually, I like them, but I'm not. That's not my team.
You
No.
know, Steph Curry's his guy.
He said Steph
So,
Curry was guy, but it didn't
Golden
necessarily
State.
mean
Golden
Warriors
State.
was. It didn't
oh,
necessarily mean Warriors were his team. Now he's
Golden
really
State's
all
my
over the
team.
map now. So we got
yeah.
DC, Golden State, Boston.
Yeah.
Great, Grayson, I got a question. How much do they charge for tickets on that bandwagon for all those teams?
Really funny. I don't know, but I'm not a bandwagon though.
He's
Not a bandwagon.
teasing. He's teasing.
I'm kidding, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of just the product of the area or the era. I mean, that's really the reason why I was a Cowboys fan. My dad had a lot to do with it, but it doesn't hurt that when you're getting into the sport, they're the best team in America. So, um, it definitely I feel you when it comes to that. Um,
For sure.
Next question. When you're on the mound, would you rather be feared or respected?
Well, that's a tough one right there. Feared or respected? I gotta say feared for sure. No
Yeah,
doubt.
I think you're gonna garner respect if you're feared. Obviously,
Yeah,
if you play
that
the
comes with it.
yeah, you play the game the right way and you go out there and you shove, you're gonna garner respect for sure.
Exactly.
Uh Now we're gonna step it up another level. These are the hardest questions. Would you rather be attacked by a tiger or a grizzly bear? So let's say you feel like you have the opportunity to survive or get away or manhandle or just fend off one of these beasts. Which one would you rather be attacked by? Tiger or grizzly bear?
Rather be attacked by, well, really neither, but gosh, I guess a tiger. I don't know. I have to say tiger.
I thought about this today, Daniel. I feel like that's the right choice because even though the Tiger, it is what it is, but like, because you said, wrestle. Like, I'm thinking, like, a grizzly bear is huge. Like, at least a tiger, maybe, he's 6'4", he's got a long wingspan. Maybe he can maneuver, get the chokehold on. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the deal. I do not want to stake my success against one of these animals, against one that can do their damage in the dark.
Nah,
So
that's a fact.
I'm gonna get beat, but if I had to pick, it's got to be grizzly bear because I've seen people yell at bears and they run away. So that might be the first option that I choose, but I definitely would take on the grizzly bear if I had
I
the
didn't
choice.
think about that. Yeah, that's smart. I don't know.
All right, so no technology for a week. That's including your phone, or you can't take a shower for a week.
I'd say no technology for a week. I'd rather smell good and then feel clean than be clean than
Which do you think would be which do you think would be harder?
should I think it'd be harder?
Yeah,
Probably, no technology for sure. That'd probably be harder.
yeah. I don't know. I think I could give it up for a week.
But yeah, Coach
I
B's
think
trying
I
to get a
could
hold of
too,
him, and he's got no
but
phone.
be
I don't
tough.
know. It's I guess I don't know with the digital age, like social media, like it's really like it's more to social media and your phone than just scrolling. It's like the
Right.
way that you communicate, you know? So not having any communication as opposed to not taking a shower, that's tough.
That's a good question. These
Yeah, I
are
mean
good
you
questions.
better step up your social game if you're gonna get rid of your phone. All
No
right,
doubt.
last question. All right. Would you rather betray your best friend or go to jail for a crime that you didn't commit?
Go to jail for a crime I didn't commit. I don't know
You
if I could
Daniel,
betray. I don't know if I
are
could betray my best friend. I don't.
you
Yeah.
are crazy.
Daniel, I'm
Jim,
turning you.
Jim,
Daniel,
Jim is my
Betray my best friend. It depends. I don't know. It
Jim.
depends on what we're
Jim
talking
is
about.
look, Grayson. Jim is my best friend, and if jail was presented, I would take that knife and stab it so hard in his back. It wouldn't even be a thought. Cause I'm not going to jail. Just
Okay.
not doing it.
It depends on if it's like life in prison or I don't know. That's tough. It's a
It
tough
don't
question.
it don't
Daniel, I
matter,
don't want to
man.
do 72 hours
It
in
don't
jail.
matter.
I don't want
It don't matter. I mean, I would stick the knife in and I would twist it. Sorry, dude, but I ain't going to jail. Grayson, man, it's been a blast, dude. We got to know you a little bit. Got your story, man. It's a big season, man. I think Jim's been at some of the fall games. He's got to see you, live, do your thing, and dude, we wish you nothing but the best. But before you bounce out of here, anything you want to plug or promote?
No, just want to thank my parents, my family, just for all the support they've given me throughout the years and for their continual support. So they're the reason I'm here, and I appreciate them. So
That's a solid shout out for sure, man. But I'll help you out because people want to know. They hit us up all the time, like how do I follow these guys? How do I know when they're playing? How do I stay connected? So I'm gonna let everybody know. You go on over to Instagram and you go to Grayson underscore Saunier 9. Type all that in, and you'll see what he's doing on a random Tuesday or clips of him on the podcast and him sharing out the podcast on a Wednesday. You might even get to see him eating breakfast on Friday. Who knows? I mean, it could be anything on that Instagram. Or if you want to see him on the diamond doing his thing, blowing gas by folks, go on over to at Ole Miss BSB. You'll see everything Ole Miss baseball. You'll get to see the games. You'll get to see the schedule, and you'll get all the deets on all the games and the upcoming notes and just everything that you can think of in regards to Ole Miss baseball. Grayson, dude, man, we wish you nothing but the best. Hey, hopefully a repeat performance of last year for the Ole Miss squad, and hopefully we'll bring him back on and we'll talk SEC. We'll talk, who knows, Omaha and another championship, dude.
no doubt. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
That's Grayson Saunier, everybody. We're going to take a break, Jim. I'm going to throw a little curveball at you because we're not going to leave this week without talking about NFL playoffs. So when we come back, we got some headlines for you.